I think there was a burn, something caught on fire.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Welcome back to Bold of You to Say. We bring the heat.
We bring the heat.
We're back with another episode. This week we talked about clip shows and why the MCU needs a clip show episode, just kind of thing, you know? Make Rogers the musical happen. Kevin, the robot that runs Marvel Studios, I know you're listening. Make it happen. Come on, man, why not? Then we goofed on some Mormon weirdo fantasizing about how much he just really wants to, like, kick his hypothetically gay daughter out of the house.
Yeah.
Weird fella. Weird guy. And then we talked about Fear Street Part 2, 1978, the sequel to the first one.
Fear Street 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Fear Street 2, this time it's a flashback. There are timestamps in the description,
anyway,
so you can skip around if you want to skip a certain part, or if you just can't wait to get to a certain part. Then after we're done recording this, we're going to be live on Twitch. By the time this comes up, you will have missed it.
Do I have to download Twitch then?
No, you don't got to do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all me. Okay. All right. But maybe we'll go live again. Who knows? We're just going to see how it goes.
Once we become majorly popular Twitch streamers.
Yeah, we're branching out a little bit. Yeah, anyway, like and subscribe and comment on YouTube if you're listening there. If you liked anything that we said, tell us about it. If you didn't like something, keep that to yourself.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, you want to jump into it?
You know, I'm like in more of a chill mode, so how about we just
I'm kind of ambivalent.
Okay, let's just,
Look, we already recorded.
Let's stroll into it.
We already did the show, so, like, we don't have any choice but to jump into it, but just know that it will be half-hearted.
So I heard a thing that allegedly Donald Trump has never drank any alcohol. Or,
I think I've heard that
not
one.
Any. It's not like because even if it's like, no, I've had like a sip of wine at a wedding. I'm like, okay, but that's like not like anything, right?
Yeah.
But like that, he's never had a beer. He's never had like a shot of alcohol. He's never had like, I don't believe him. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one. Him saying that he's never drank before. Like it's honestly, like, I don't want to say impressive, but there's just something about the level of confidence and audacity that one person can have. You know what I mean? Like that's not the only thing he's lied about. Obviously, he's lied about being a devout Christian just to get the evangelical vote.
I feel like the people who believed him that he is a Christian, I say in air quotes, are the same people who believe that NFTs would be the next big thing.
Yeah. But like the one like big, well, okay, not the big lie, because the big lie actually is pretty recent and hurt a lot of people. But the other big lie that he did that just is so entertaining to me is, you might have heard of this story, but like back in, I want to say the 80s, he pretended to be like his own agent. And I don't remember all the details, but like there's a recorded phone call that resurfaced where he's like, yeah, Donald, he's a great guy. He's so awesome and cool, like talking himself up. And he's like, yeah, this guy that I totally am not. And he's like barely disguising his voice.
It's great. So actually, it's funny that we're bringing this up because today in class, I'm taking an interpersonal communications class. And today we played a game of telephone. I'm paying money for this, I want to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm paying money.
This is a portion of your salary.
This is like maybe an iPhone's worth of class. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
we begin
with
a bizarre twist in the race for...
I think I found what I was talking about.
Okay.
The video just
we were
auto-played.
playing telephone, except instead of it being like, I took an awesome shit today, like, instead of something like that, it's like a paragraph worth of text that this person's reciting back to me.
Jesus.
Right? And I'm not going to remember that, like, verbatim. Right? So I had to, like, and also having ADHD, like, I'm not going to remember that. That's just not going to happen. So
Like I could
got the
remember a
points.
paragraph if I wasn't trying to remember a paragraph. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
that.
Great way to
Well, no. You know what I mean? Like
Alex, and your neuronormative state.
I'm not
Wow.
neuronormative, whatever
Wow,
that
Alex.
means.
Wow, check your privilege, Alex.
No. What I'm sympathizing. I'm
you
sympathizing because like that's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Like if you had to like
Fuck you.
if you had to
Alex.
recite like the dog ate his own shit or whatever, like
that's easy.
that's easy.
Like, that's easy.
But a paragraph, yeah.
But a paragraph.
No, that's a
but it's
lot of
not even-
pressure.
it's a lot of like, wow, okay. And he wasn't like reading it like slowly to make sure I get each part. It was like today I wanted to work and we're working on a house and it would need to be expanded, blah, 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 blah. And it's like all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, I know there's an office building and it's being expanded and it's talked to the lawyers and the architects and it's going to be cool. All right, got it. So I told the next person this, and now it's like several other people after her.
Yeah.
Right. So it's this paragraph of text, and at the end of it, it was like, there's this office building. It's being worked on. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be tremendous. Believe me.
And I was like, wow. That's what Donald Trump did.
Yeah.
Like through his entire presidency. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, so Saudi Arabia is having some issues because of this political, socioeconomic issue, and blah 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 blah. And their leaders are thinking this.
We need
and our leaders are thinking that.
build
and oil is cool, and
wall?
we like the fact that we like their oil, and blah blah blah. And he gets on stage and he's just like, Saudi Arabia can't have them. Bad folks.
Yeah.
Oil. I love it.
Yeah.
I love oil. Oh, we all love oil.
No, if he wasn't so deranged and if he didn't have so much power even after being president, he would be so entertaining just as like
oh my God.
just as a person to look at.
Like I wouldn't mind him as like not a political pundit, but definitely like a comedy political guy.
Like you know the Muppet guys, the two old men.
Wait, Donald Trump is what happens when a Muppet turns into a human.
Yeah, he's a Muppet that wished to be a real boy.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
But you know what I mean? He's like the two, like, I forget the words. I forget what they're called. But you know, the old guys are like, oh, that show more like, fuck you. You know?
Yeah,
They're,
for sure.
they're real clever like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. That was very crystal clear that you explained that. The way you explained that was very concise to me in a way that I could understand.
Anyway, I want to revisit.
I just cannot emphasize enough how much I understood that last sentence that you said.
I want to revisit this recorded phone call now that I have it up.
We begin with a bizarre twist in the race for president. Donald Trump.
This was back in 2016.
Wait, hold on. I'll share my screen so you can see it.
Pretending to be his own media spokesperson during a phone interview. The voice describing Trump's love life and fortune. Trump denying that's him on tape, but tonight, you be the judge. At the same time, he is fiercely standing by his decision not to release his taxes until an audit is completed. Snapping when asked about his taxes, saying, quote, it's none of your business.
What a guy.
ABC's John
It's none of
Carl
your
starts
business.
us up tonight.
Meanwhile, he is trying to be the president. I love it.
Holy shit.
Today, a voice
Dude,
from the past is coming.
It's so weird to think that, like, I've paid more taxes than Donald Trump last year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He spent, I think it was $700.
Yeah, no, we've both spent more in taxes than Amazon.
Oh yeah, because
but I think they got their taxes raised by Dark Brandon or something. But historically, they've paid very little taxes.
Coming back to haunt Donald Trump, and it sounds a heck of a lot like his own voice.
What's your name again? John Miller.
It's a tape recording of a 1991 interview conducted by a People magazine reporter with somebody identifying himself as John Miller, supposedly
Wait.
a
It'd be
spokesman.
great if he identified himself as like Donald Dump.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is Donald Dump.
I think it'd be funny if he did the sitcom trope where he's looking around. He's like, "What's your name?" And he didn't even think that far. George Glass.
For Donald Trump.
Somebody that knows, man,
But the reporter soon became suspicious John Miller was actually Trump himself, bragging about his own exploits with women.
He's somebody that has a lot of options, and frankly, he gets called by everybody. He gets called by everybody in the book in terms of women.
The supposed spokesman described how Trump was living with Marla Maples, but not ready to settle down.
He didn't want to make a commitment. He really thought it was too soon. He's living with Marla, and he's got 3 other girlfriends.
He even bragged that superstars like Madonna wanted to date Trump.
Well, she called and wanted to go out with him, that I can tell you.
The Washington Post reports Trump has previously acknowledged using a fake name. But today, the billionaire angrily denied it's him on that tape.
It doesn't sound like me on the phone, I will tell you that, and it was not me on the phone.
It's not just the tape that has Trump on the defensive today. He's also pushing back on the idea that voters are entitled to see his tax return.
Anyway, that's great. It doesn't sound like me at all. Like, it has the same energy as Chris Pratt being like, yeah, my Mario, it's like nothing you've ever heard before.
Oh my God. It's
Can't
so
even tell
funny
it's
'cause,
me.
like, I half expect him to be like, yeah, and his dad said that his penis is huge.
Yeah.
And
The only reason that like him like responding to this and the clip of John Miller, the only reason that they sound different at all is just the sheer amount that Trump has aged himself.
right.
Just
yeah.
with the piles of just shit that he's poured
Yeah.
into his body. He does not take care of himself.
Mm-hmm. So I have to admit to something, Alex.
Yes.
I'm a little shameful of it.
Okay.
I have been watching YouTube Shorts again.
Look, I can only put up with so much. I can only forgive you so many times for your transgressions.
And beyond just the alt-right, like Joe Rogan bullshit that I see on it, there was one Joe Rogan bit where they were talking about Trump, and his guest was like, oh, I'm sure Trump is just like buzzed on Adderall the entire time he was on The Apprentice.
Yeah. No, like I've actually heard stories from people like on set. Like supposedly people saw him like crushing up and snorting Adderall.
Really?
Yeah. That's like a real thing that like people around him have said.
It's just weird for him to be like, I've never drank. I don't drink. It's bad for you.
Yeah,
I was gonna like it. I'm gonna snort fucking meth.
I was gonna say, like, it's not really like drinking would be an improvement over what he currently puts in his body.
Technically, by definition, yeah.
Yeah, it would be
I would
less
say chemically
terrible.
no, objectively and legally yes.
Yeah. But yeah, like one of the debates in the 2016 election, like he was a little sniffly, and like supposedly, he was constantly like, and people were saying like, yeah, that's a telltale sign that you've been like snorting shit. Just the sheer amount that he was like sniffling.
Yeah. How do I get this to? Hang on.
Are you trying to get out of the stream?
Yeah.
There should be a big button that says close stream. You good? You got it?
Okay, I got it.
You got it, buddy?
I feel so stupid. Oh, I feel so stupid.
Anyway, this will already have passed by the time you're listening to this, listener. But after this recording, we're planning on streaming for a little bit, and you're gonna get more content like that, reacting to crazy things that have happened.
Could be crazy.
It's more exciting than how I just described it. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some crazy things.
Oh,
let me tell you.
Like off the grid, off the script,
off the dome.
Off the off the
chain. That's something that people said
off
in
the
the
chin.
Past. It's shooting from the hip, quite frankly.
Yeah. For sure.
Let me tell you.
For sure, and 7 oceans ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have fun here.
We do. Anyway.
I have something between a rant and a PSA directed at Marvel Studios.
Yes. Please.
So, my favorite part of like any given show is the clip show episode. Like, did you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
That live action?
No, not the live action one, like the cartoon.
No,
like the original cartoon.
When I was a
from
kid,
when we were
yes.
kids.
How much did I retain? Like nothing.
Okay. Do you remember the Ember Island Players episode?
No.
Okay. Well, it was an episode like it was one of like the last like 5 episodes, I think, like in the entire series. And they were in the Fire Nation and they went to see a play. It's like an in-universe play based on the events of the series leading up to like where they are.
Okay.
But it's from the Fire Nation's perspective. So like everything is warped and it's like really goofy. They get like weird stuff just wrong.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's really funny to watch, but it's also a good way to like look back on the show, you know, see how far everyone's come. My favorite part, you know, Toph, right? The little blind girl, the earthbender.
Yes, the earthbender, yeah.
Yeah. So like since it's from the Fire Nation's perspective, they can't just be like, yeah, this blind 10-year-old girl has been kicking our asses this whole time.
I love that.
So in the play, they have Toph played by like a buff, like huge, like 7-foot tall dude. He's like, my name's Toph because it sounds like tough. And they're like, wow, you're blind, you can't see, or you're blind. How do you see? And he's like, well, I don't see how you do. I blast a sonic wave from my mouth. and then he just screams in the face of like the person he's in the scene with. And it's great. It's great. Maybe we'll react to it on stream later. Hold on. I'm adding that to the doc.
Objectively, they're getting their asses kicked, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite part of Avatar: The Last Airbender is when that one firebending kid is trying to meet up with his uncle again, because I guess
Zuko?
he sold out his uncle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Zuko.
dude, he multiple times he fucked over his uncle.
Yeah, and then like I think it's like at the last time he ever sold him out, right? He comes back to try to free him from prison or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like in tears, like crying because he feels so regretful and bad because his uncle's only done everything to try to get him on the right path and put him on the right side of history.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if there's any way you could ever forgive me, and then Zuko just like hugs him and he's like, I wasn't angry that you betrayed me. I was disappointed because I thought you lost your way.
Dude, Uncle Iroh he's a top tier dude.
Oh, misty eyes.
I know, dude.
If there was ever a better definition of grace, I don't know what, like...
He's like...
Oh my god.
He's more Jesus than Jesus.
I would actually praise an effigy of Uncle Zuko.
Uncle Iroh. Zuko is he's the little shithead.
Sorry, Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, dude, Uncle Iroh, he's a real G.
Yeah.
If you can be an Uncle Iroh to someone, go for it.
Yeah, do that.
Do that. It benefits everybody.
It grows the economy. Benefits everybody. Hurts nobody.
I mean, I don't know about growing the economy, Joe, but you know, the rest of that does sound good.
Yeah.
The rest of that is
everyone.
accurate.
Hurts no one.
Benefits everybody.
What if that kid like turned out to be Hitler?
What, Zuko?
No, the kid that you help as Uncle as Iroh.
Well, I mean, Zuko was like Hitler's heir in the show.
True.
So, and then Iroh intervened, and he was better after that. So,
yeah,
maybe the kid you help. Maybe you're preventing another Hitler.
Maybe. I do find it interesting, and I hate to make this an episode about Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I did find it interesting that when what was it, the little kid? The kid.
Zuko?
Zuko is the kid, the firebending kid, right?
The one with the big scar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I like that when he decides to leave the Fire Nation and he like joins the squad of people, of the Avatar,
yeah,
of Aang,
yeah,
and everyone. He like loses significant amounts of power because he has to figure out how to derive his power from anything other than anger.
Yeah. And it's a good bit of growth for him.
I like it. That's a really good character like issue.
That whole arc when he's like
trying
to join the good guys, it's so great because like you know, we as the audience, we see what Zuko's been going through, and the whole time we're like, come on, man, do better. You know, we're rooting for you. But like, the only thing that Team Avatar sees is literally just Prince Hitler. And now he's like, hey guys, I kind of been going through some stuff and I've decided to not be who I have been. And obviously they're not going to immediately trust him.
You. Yeah.
But it's just so funny seeing like socially awkward Zuko trying to like make friends, which he hasn't done since early childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like,
well, and
hey guys,
especially like in his situation,
Zuko here.
Like where he would do things that his dad wanted him to do, right? And even when he was able, what do you?
Sorry, I was like surprised by how long we've been going. It was like 20 minutes already.
Even when he did what his father wanted him to do, he was still like damned. Like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Right. Regardless, he wouldn't have been good enough. Right. And I think eventually his uncle knew that and he finally realized that. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, dude. That whole show is good. Audience, if you haven't seen it, fucking watch it.
Watch it, please.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to be the deciding factor for anyone watching one of the most popular Nickelodeon shows of all time.
Dude. Oh, did you hear that Cartoon Network's shutting down?
It's not that they're shutting down, but they're like getting consumed by like HBO's animation department. Like they're just being folded into HBO. But yeah, Cartoon Network, like as we know it basically doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It's been on the decline for like a good 5 years, I'd say.
They're Weekend at Bernie'sing the corpse of Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the point that I wanted to make, bringing up the Ember Island players thing, I want the MCU to do a similar thing. They really like had an opportunity because like, you know, Endgame was sort of like the bookend for the MCU. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Like it capped off what they call now the Infinity Saga. You know, it was basically like the end of not only an era, but a collection of eras.
Yeah.
And it would have been the perfect opportunity to do a clip show style, you know, anything, right? Like an Ember Island Players kind of thing. And they came close. I don't think you watched the Hawkeye show, did you?
Nope.
No. Yeah, I didn't think so. A lot of people didn't watch. I thought it was fine. But they had a scene where Hawkeye, Clint Barton, he's like going to a play with his kids in New York. And they're like, oh, we want to see this new musical. And, you know, it has the popularity like of Hamilton, right?
For sure.
And it basically is Hamilton, but instead of being about Alexander Hamilton, it's about Steve Rogers.
Oh.
And they show a scene of like, you know, they're watching the play and, you know, they choreographed and like shot like the one of the music numbers from this, you know, fictional play.
Yeah.
And like they fully produced like the one song and they released the whole like performance of it as like an extra thing. And meanwhile, Clint is like, this is the most traumatic event of my life and it's being made into a musical.
Yeah.
But like, I wish they would have like made, like they would have committed to that, you know? I wish they would make like the entirety of the Rogers musical.
Yeah.
That would have been so great. Like get like a Lin-Manuel Miranda type, you know? Get him in a room with, you know, ideally you would be like a comics nerd too. You'd be an MCU nerd. But, you know, at the very least, get a music nerd and an MCU nerd. You know, maybe Kevin Feige himself. Get them in a room together. Just hammer out a musical. You know, it'd be a great, just funny thing.
Great, funny, entertaining change of pace.
And also a good way to like look back on the past 10 years of movies. And I feel like it's kind of like the Black Widow movie where it should have come out like a few years prior. And like, if they were to do it now, it would just be kind of too late just because like too much time has passed. They've done, you know, too much post Endgame. But, you know, like in in the one music number that they do, which is like about the Battle of New York from the Avengers, you know, they have Ant-Man in the scene, even though he wasn't like around for another like 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, it'd just be funny. It'd be funny to see like what the average like person thinks of all this stuff going down.
It'd be interesting. I mean, it's interesting to think that there were some facts from Hamilton that like were just plain falsities. Like it was a lie.
Yeah, and I would love to see that like in universe about Steve Rogers. Like people like in the MCU, like in universe, it's like a conspiracy theory that Captain America lives on the moon now. Like I want to see just more weird stuff like that. Just what do people think in the MCU?
Well, yeah, and that like to that point too, like they would have had to have known that Captain America.
Like there's a lot of stuff that we see as the audience that the public just doesn't see.
Yeah, well, because he goes back in time to the 40s to be with his gal friend.
Yeah, and right? Like 8 people in the entire Marvel universe know about it. Right.
So, like, did he just get a new social security number?
It is entirely unclear.
Or did they just... So he just, like, let Hydra happen then in the U.S. government. He just kind of was like, yep.
This idea has been explored exclusively in comedy skits online.
And he's a virgin. Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, in like the first or second episode of She-Hulk, Bruce Banner was like, no, he did it.
Yeah, I know.
But we don't know who. We don't know when.
I think he said when, but he didn't say who.
Oh, I think he said it was like during the USO tour.
Yeah.
So it was just someone.
But that would have been post being infused with magic juice.
Yeah, post juice, but pre hooking up with Peggy.
You know what would be great? If they just like injected him with kombucha.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, we this is embarrassing. We ran out of super soldier serum, but if you tried kombucha.
You tried kombucha.
Have you tried DMT?
What? He's like, what? But what is that? This is 1940. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be invented for another whatever
shit.
Number of years.
It was someplace. It was a thing before then.
It existed somewhere.
But I think it was like in India or some Asian continental country.
Yeah, I don't think white people knew about it until very recently.
Hang on, hold on a sec.
You don't have to fact check it. It's fine.
No, I'm
the
going
show
to
must go
fact
on.
Check it.
Yes, and
who invented?
Yes, and
it's Korean.
Okay, good to know. Look how much substance that added. Thank you for taking the time to look this up.
Hold on, Okay, so it was invented 220 years before Christ.
All right. So he might have known what kombucha was. Good to know.
But Korea, that would have been post World War II. Wait, because like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah,
anyway, continue.
Anyway.
Grade A quality content here.
But anyway, yeah, MCU. I want a clip show. Kevin Feige, if you're listening, I want a clip show. It would be good and nice. And like you have the resources. Disney has the resources to make a clip show style thing.
Disney, that small production company?
Yeah.
That has a couple properties with like maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 rides on them?
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't even know how they survive the winter.
Yeah, I think do they need some donations? Can we set up a Patreon?
Yeah, something like that. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, I like how even like Marvel game, like app game ads are even like cinematically produced.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Dude, the ads for Marvel mobile games are so like flashy and polished that it like when you realize it's a mobile game, you get so disappointed.
Yeah, honestly disappointed because it was like Nick Fury. This is the ad. Nick Fury gets fired. He's getting replaced. That's the whole premise of the ad.
Yeah.
And it turns out the person who's replacing him is a person playing the app.
Shit. That's That's not a bad
imagine-
plot device. That's not a bad
They-
way of doing it. But the fact that it's for a mobile game.
They called Samuel L. Jackson to the fucking studio. And we're like, hey, Sam, can I call you Sam? Anyway, listen, I really loved you in those Tarantino films. Those were awesome. You were amazing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I love you in
Even
those
in Star
Totino's
Wars.
movies. You know,
And
the ones about
Star
the pizza
Wars
rolls.
And in the animated series, you voiced that character. Anyway, we
They
have
just
an ad
list his
for an
entire
app.
IMDb.
Right. I loved you and everything. We have this app. Yeah. You're going to be Nick Fury. Yeah. Random girl. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Love you too. Bye.
Yeah, if Disney has the resources to bring in Sam Jackson for a mobile game ad, they have the resources to produce an entire musical about the life of Steve Rogers, filled with wild inaccuracies from the perspective of the average MCU citizen.
Oh, for sure. I can imagine them like making Captain America and Iron Man out to be worse enemies than they were.
You know how like the log cabin Republicans have like a bit of lore about Lincoln, about how they like theorize that he was gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if they did that, but with Steve Rogers and Tony
Secretly
Stark?
love each other.
Yeah. No, what if they played that up like, and history
Yeah.
will remember us as just being good friends.
But yet, we have this very deep emotional connection.
They make Civil
And, like,
War
the only-
very, very homoerotic.
The only thing they have to show Captain America as being gay is the fact that, or not Captain America, Iron Man being gay, is like the fact that on a couple of occasions he's worn high heel boots.
Yeah. He wears entirely, exclusively high-heeled boots. Because he's
Yeah,
played
like,
by
even
Robert Downey Jr., who's like 5'2".
Even the Iron Man suit has high heel boots in the play.
Yeah. And the Hulkbuster has like stilettos.
Yeah. And he has like this like missile launcher on his dick.
The bigger the thing is he has to fight, the higher the heels are.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. That's the Captain America I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Iron Man I know.
Oh, did I say Captain America?
Yeah.
Shit, that's the Black Widow I know.
Yeah, that's the anyway. The way to execute a good anyway is it's mostly exhaling. It's like 80% sigh and 20% speech. Anyway. Look, bottom line, the best way to get something done, if you hold near and dear to you that you anyway.
Imagine him saying marijuana that way too.
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
Ugh.
Eventually, you're just like grunting.
Yeah. We're gonna legalize. Anyway,
you think that like if he has like sore joints and they're like, listen, we have this THC lotion for your joints, President Biden, it helps. And he puts it on. Do you think the fucking Secret Service is like, put the lotion down, Mr. President?
No, what if the reason that he's like moving towards legalizing weed is just like, oh, I have the CBD stuff that really helps with my joint pain.
CBD
Oh.
isn't federally illegal though.
Yeah, but he doesn't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's just like,
You think if the
oh,
president just
shit.
like hotboxed the Oval Office that he would be impeached? Like, what would happen? What would happen? Like, I don't like. I'm asking legitimately. Like, if he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hotbox this place. Try to stop me. I'm the president. I
Look.
will nuke your hometown if you try to stop me.
Look, the fact that
Right.
January 6th happened at all, I think that's enough evidence to say, like, the president could probably hotbox the White House. I would just
Right,
love to
like,
see that.
that's
The
what I'm
thing is,
saying.
the one president that would have done that is out, and he probably won't be
Yeah.
allowed to run again.
Well, also, you would to be removed from office. You would have to be impeached. Like, you can't indict a sitting president you would have to be impeached.
Yeah, how
right?
wild is that?
Right? And so, yeah, you hotbox the Oval Office. You get a bunch of like federal agents like, hey, you can't do that. And you're like, what you going to do? What you going to do about that? I'm going to draft a declaration of impeachment. Cool. Good luck getting the Democrats to fucking sign that.
Yeah. Mansion and Cinema would just to be on the wrong side of history.
Oh, right. Hang on. Hang on.
What, someone knocking?
No, my roommate's in the shower, I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure that. I don't think it's picking up on Audacity, though.
Oh. Well, if it is, you will just
No, it's not.
suffer.
There's no way it's picking up.
Yeah. We got to get you a dynamic microphone
Yeah.
so it
I
doesn't
can
pick
get
up
one.
background noise.
I got big boy money.
Ooh. Anyway, we have fun here.
We do.
I got a crazy kook for us to react to on Twitter.
That's awesome. Let me hear it.
It's the link in the show notes if you want to click on that, follow along with me. It's the one labeled "My Man's Going Crazy" on the TL. This kind of popped off a little. I saw people reacting to it, and I was like, this dude's wildin'. So anyway, this is from @low_dosage on Twitter. They shared some screenshots from the account of Matthew Watkins, and I wanted to find the original tweets just so I could have a more primary source. His account is like locked down, so you can't even view anything about his account without being like a confirmed follower. So you have to request to follow him. And then once he approves, then you can see his stuff. Even though he's like a podcaster, he's like a media figure, and he has his account locked down, probably because he knows that the stuff that he is posting, like what we're about to talk about, is just like so far beyond the pale for most like normal people.
Yeah.
So he tweeted this on October 14th. And this is @Matthew P. Watkins on Twitter. If my daughter leaves the church, has an abortion, cohabitates, marries a woman, etc., I will make several things 100% clear to her. 1. I absolutely love her. 2. I absolutely oppose her decisions. 3. I absolutely will not tolerate it in my house. 4. I absolutely love her. Oh, sorry. I absolutely lover her is the exact words written.
So, okay, objectively 1 and 4 are the same thing, so he's gonna make 3 things absolutely clear to her.
Yeah. Yeah, if we were to condense that down.
Number 4 also implies that he's the father of the child.
Yeah, I will love her.
I will love her. So I unless you're in Alabama, I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, there is more.
Oh,
but yeah. Already starting off like, oh yeah, I love my child, but like fucking not in my house, okay?
Yeah.
And he continues on. Right now, my daughter is 4, so she changes her mind on whom to marry every 5 minutes. This afternoon, it was her brother. This morning, when she had her Cinderella dress on, it was me. Let's say when she's 19, she decides to marry another woman. What should I do/say? And then the thread continues. I guess he's writing out what he would say to her. Anyway, your mother and I love you so much. You know where we stand on this. W can't give you our blessing. He meant we. We can't give you our blessing. I don't know if we'll attend the ceremony. If we do, don't let your officiator ask if anyone objects because we will. Politely, but we will. And please don't ask to live with us in the spare room. As you know, we consider our home to be comparable to the temple. We have standards for guests and family members who live here. We are sad that this path will not lead to the future we and God wanted for you, but we love you regardless and would love to have you and your partner visit for game night every week and becoming good friends with both of you. This person needs to proofread what they write before they publish it.
Okay, to anyone who's listening, if you're going to make a tweet that's going to destroy your fucking career, at least make the grammar right. Don't give them 2 reasons to hate you.
Look, if you're going to go down without spelling errors or grammatical errors.
Go down with the King's English, okay? Good God.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck.
But dude, this guy, the reason I wanted to talk about this guy has been provoked in no way. Like nothing led to this. It's just him fantasizing about kicking his daughter out of his house. His now 4-year-old daughter, if she were to hypothetically in 15 years do the moral crime of having a same-sex attraction. Like, my dude, this is so out of pocket and so unnecessary.
I find it odd that he's also only focusing on his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, you have a son as well. Like, at least if you're going to hate equally. Don't be sexist about it too.
So much like right-wing bigotry is just like they cut it with misogyny. You know what I mean? Like, have you noticed that like no one goes after trans men?
Yeah. No.
Like Matt Walsh made an entire documentary.
Well, actually, some people go after trans men.
Well,
women to man, woman to man.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is, like, Matt Walsh made an entire documentary just to demonize trans women. And he made the whole documentary like, what is a woman? You know, what a woman is when a person identifies as a woman. Ugh, that doesn't make sense, even though it does.
And it's funny because, like, whenever you try to make it, it's like one of those things that it's hard to pin down a definition unless you're talking about physical, like what your sex is.
Well, yeah, it's a social construct.
It's a social construct.
Giving a hard definition for a social construct is never going to be easy.
Well, exactly. And so they're like, you say, well, what's your definition for a woman? Someone who can procreate and make another person. So a woman after menopause isn't a woman.
Yeah, your grandmother, sorry to break it to you, she ain't a lady no more.
She's not a woman anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah, if you make it about any one thing or any combination of things, then you it comes with the unforeseen consequences of, saying that a 70-year-old woman isn't a woman anymore.
Right. Or like when they're like someone who has a uterus. Okay, so if you've had a hysterectomy, then you're not a woman anymore.
So, that's weirdly progressive. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh yeah, once you have bottom surgery, like, yeah, full on, you're a man now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's weirdly progressive in a roundabout way. But my point with bringing that up is that, like, people don't make entire documentaries like, what is a man? What is a man? Define man for me. You know what I mean? They get weirdly like paternalistic, and they get like just possessive over the concept of women.
Yeah.
In a way that they don't with men. Yeah, I don't remember how that relates to the original tweet thread.
I brought up the fact that it's only about his daughter and not about his son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's like he's doing this. He's writing out this entire fantasy novel about how much he just can't wait to persecute his daughter. Meanwhile, he's like, I don't want to say neglecting his son because I don't want either of his children to be the target of this. But it's like weird that he's singling out his daughter.
You know, I think it would be like kind of funny though if his son turns out to be gay and decides to get married.
But he's
to,
so
like,
focused. He's so focused on his daughter that he's just like, yeah, whatever, Billy, go suck a cock, whatever, I don't care.
But like his son marries like a jacked like bodybuilder who's like super intimidating, like borderline like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So even if the dad wanted to to bring opposition at the wedding, he wouldn't because he's that intimidated. Yeah,
well, this guy, from what I've heard, is a Mormon, and I don't think there are any Mormons that have ever been birthed that could kick anyone's ass.
Right, yeah.
I think every Mormon just genetically is just a peewee ass wimp. I think that's just what their gene pool looks like. And then if you convert, it irreparably damages your DNA.
Okay, Adolf. All right. Whatever. Goddamn, dude. Come on.
Won't someone think of the Mormons? But anyway, yeah. Now this is what a loving father. What a normal guy.
Right. Like, okay. What if you're... never mind. That was not... Never mind.
Well, like, imagine, like, growing up with this, and I wanted to say, you know, if you're in the situation where your parents are like, I can't wait for one of my kids to turn out gay so I can kick their ass. You know, if you have a parent that's like that, it's not forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're in high school and you have homophobic parents, like, you're going to move out. You don't have to call them ever again.
Yeah.
You know, you can get out of it.
You know what my mom told me when I was 12?
You better not be gay or else I will never attend your wedding ceremony and I will forever hate you.
It was on par with the exact opposite view.
You better be gay. You better be gay or else I have a lot of money on this.
She said, you're 12 now, so you can figure out what your sexual orientation is. So just letting you know, if you're gay, I don't have an issue with that because I really need a good hairdresser.
That's great.
I shit you not.
She managed to be an ally while being homophobic. I love it.
I don't know how. Yeah, exactly.
Moms just have that way about them.
It's great. Oh, dude, that Bo Burnham. I just remember that Bo Burnham comeback.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Perry.
Thank you, Mrs. Perry.
Yeah. I'll add that to the stream doc and we'll see if we can get to it.
Oh, it's so good.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're in that situation, if your parents are like, you know, my daughter, the light of my life, you're 4 now, so I think it's important that you know, you better not be fucking gay. Yeah. If you are that daughter, you don't got to call them back. You know, you don't got to call your parents when you're older.
Yeah,
I don't. They got to earn that shit. Cut them off. Cut off your parents. It's fun.
My dad calls my grandma every day. And that's fine, I guess, but
get a life,
anyway,
bro.
My mom has always told me, she's like, I'm never going to do that to you. Like, I'm never going to like make sure you call
I'm never
me.
going to call you.
I mean, kind of, but like in a very like, if you need something, I guess call me. If you want to talk, I guess call me. But I'm not gonna like force you to do that.
Gavin, I got shit to do, so you better not call me every day.
Right, exactly. That's what she meant.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I get to college. Yeah, guess what happens?
What?
More often than it probably should.
What? You call your mom?
FaceTimes me.
Oh, she
FaceTimes me.
Yeah.
Do I have an issue with that? No. It's fine. It's all right. I eat.
Empty nest syndrome is real. It's strong.
I suppose so. Like, damn.
Dude, after moving out, like I've called my mom more than I thought I would. I send her stuff. I send her pictures of my costume. You know, we keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just because I need money. Okay? That's beside the point.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you, Mrs. Perry.
Thank you, Mrs. Perry.
Anyway.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Anyway, we watched a movie this week.
We did.
Did you
watch a movie, Fear Street 2: Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, what did you think?
It was good. I think it. You know, I wish the cinematography would have been a little better, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, did you notice any like issues, or was it just like lacking generally?
Just generally to me. I don't know. I think it's the 70s aesthetic that I'm not like a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, you know. It's got that charm to it. I like the hair. I think the hair is fun.
I am
Look,
weird,
do I like
people...
would I like to see that style brought back as an everyday thing? No. Is it ugly? A little bit. But is it fun to look at every now and again? A little bit, yeah.
I think of hair like I think of money. People I think of assets like I think of hair like I think of assets. I don't like them to be artificially inflated.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't. When I see it and it has that like, it's like they're blonde, but it's not like that, like shiny blonde, but like that, like someone colored in their hair with a crayon yellow.
Yeah. I
Look,
think
I'm
my
like,
favorite
you.
ugly trend from the 70s is probably like the long hair middle part with like the barely grown in mustache.
Oh yeah, the caterpillar mustache.
Yeah, it's a
Ooh,
look.
Yeah,
It's a bad look, but it's a look. It's
I think
iconic.
the thing that I don't like is the ladies will wear like a shirt kind of like this, but with like an overall dress that's like only one color.
Yeah. Well, like you don't like a t-shirt with overalls?
I feel like you're being a dick, Alex.
Hey, it's a look. It's a look. It looks
Yeah.
better than the caterpillar mustache and the long hair side part or a middle part.
You know, some people. Okay, I'll make this statement. Some people look like that and get more pussy than I do.
That is a statement. That's. I think you're just jealous. I think you're jealous that you can't pull off that drippy look.
Yeah, Alex, that's what I'm jealous.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
look that I don't even like. I'm jealous that I can't pull. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm glad we've settled on that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So
What was your favorite part of the movie, Alex?
Well, I like how like the lore gets developed, and I was just gonna bring that up. I was gonna ask you what you thought of that. You know, like, you know, the first movie is pretty like sparse on details. All that you really know is like there's a witch, there's supposedly a curse, and you know, if you drip
And it
your
knows
blood on the
whether or not you're
bones-
legally or literally dead.
Yeah, it has a hard line on what death means.
Turns out before the witch decided to be a witch, she went to law school and then couldn't.
Yeah,
like,
and
make enough as an
whatever
attorney.
magic looms over this town makes an EpiPen cure drowning.
Right. Wouldn't it be funny if like the witch isn't from like the 18 whatevers, but like it's like a recent death?
Yeah.
It's like the bones are still like a little like
Like
still
this
a
girl
little
listened to
fleshy.
the Beatles.
No. This girl fucking listened to Def Leppard.
Yeah.
And from the 70s.
They were just in the middle of like going on a walk. They got their Walkman on, they got their little headphones going.
Yeah.
You get nothing but a
Good.
ow.
Yeah. but
That's
she couldn't
smart.
make
So I'm
enough-
gonna curse this fucking town
Yeah.
before I die of this fatal blow.
No, I think it would be great if there was like a hobby of hers and she dies and she's like, "Oh, I have a thing for this."
Yeah. But anyway, you know, in the second one, it really like ramps up, like you know, it shows you more of what's going on. You know, it's like not just like, oh, there was a witch and she cursed the fucking whatever. It's like, no, there's like some kind of satanic like connection. There's like a ritual that is still going on. Clearly, like there is someone maintaining this curse. You know, like new names are being carved into the rock, and it's like it's a pretty good like plot device, if that's the right word. You know, it's like a cool, like scary thing to be like, you know, not just like, oh, this witch possesses people, you know, and it's scary enough after the person is possessed and you find out, oh no, it's Ryan Torres and the fucking thing stabbing me. But like when you see your friend's name on the wall, and as far as you know, they're still fine, and you know it's gonna be coming.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
for sure.
That'd be
I like to
fucking
think that when
scary.
you get possessed too, like a part of your consciousness like goes to the back of your head, right? But the witch is there too, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do like now while I'm here? And she just has sex with you. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like it's like a sex dream, but like more realistic.
I was thinking, you know, your consciousness is in the back of your mind. The witch is there. She's like, hey, I got the Walkman with the 2 headphone jacks. You wanna just plug in?
Hey, do you want to smoke a joint and just like rock out to Def
as
Leppard?
you're swinging the axe.
All right. Hey, listen.
Swinging the axe to the beat.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But like the whole time, it's like you're the time you're spending while being fucking possessed is being like projected on a screen, and you and the witch are just hanging out in your subconscious,
Yeah.
just like smoking a joint. Like, oh, Am I
That's
doing that?
crazy.
Yeah, that's you. That's you. Don't try to do anything. I'm chilling. I'm
Oh
smoking
man,
this
if
joint.
I could just speak on behalf of myself right now, I would say, shit,
shit.
damn, that's whack.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of seeing the younger like people? Like a couple of the people from the first movie we see again, but like as like teenagers.
Mhm.
Like at the beginning of the flashback, you know, Ziggy's like being tied up by these bullies.
Yeah.
And one of them, I don't know if you caught this, is Will Good, the mayor of the fucking town. Like 15 years later. It's like, shit.
Although I was surprised
that family's a bad breed.
I was surprised to see that the cop wasn't in on it.
Yeah, he was like, he's one of the good ones. You know, he's
but like
he likes Stephen King.
It seemed like in the first movie he knew more than we knew he knew.
Yeah.
And
I
it turns
wonder
out
if
that
any more of that is going to be developed. I don't know. We'll just have to watch the third movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But I think this movie makes a really good point in saying that, like, don't trust politicians. They're all Satanists.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, that is a good moral to take away from this.
Especially in local government.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking throughout the movie, like knowing where it's gonna go. And of course, you think Ziggy's gonna die. It turns out that it's the older sister, and they did a switcheroo with the names. But the whole time, like, Nick he's like, yeah, I like Stephen King, and I don't even want to be the sheriff. And you're kind of cute, and I'm gonna give you a little kiss on the cheek. And like, where it's going. He's gonna be the sheriff. He's gonna be like, I don't know what's going on with these murders. Okay, you think a person who was raised from the dead and is killing people? Okay, ladies. Okay.
But inside he's like,
that's a little far-fetched.
Inside he's like, shit.
Inside he's like, oh no, it's happening again.
Fuck. God damn it.
And he literally writes a note to adult Ziggy, like, it's happening again. I know.
Yeah.
I know I haven't talked to you in 15 years, but...
I know that kiss really freaked you out.
And I really sold you out and called you a liar. But if I could just speak on behalf of the witch giving cursing this town, I would say...
I think the reason he decided to become a cop is because he sold out his friend, because he realized that his friend was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It
Also, it tells you every politician is satanic and every cop is a bastard, and I like that. I like that for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I think that cops poop fast too, because they're bastards and fast turds.
Yeah. I never thought of it like that. Up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think of the fucking guy with the bag? We got his origin story. Turned out he was just a guy grabbing ass.
Oh yeah, he was putting all those asses in the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was
And it also like humanizes like the villains. Like you see all the people from the first movie, and they're like these mindless reanimated fucking whatevers.
Yeah.
But like you see it more in this one. Like they all have backstories, Kind of want to
Turns out that people, even if they're possessed, they used to be people.
Yeah, well, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't think about it as much in the first one. Like, you don't watch the first movie and expect, like, oh yeah, the guy with the axe, he has a tragic backstory where he accidentally killed all of his friends because he was possessed.
Accidentally. I don't use the term master comedian often, but in this case, ooh. I like to think there was like one. I like to think there was one guy who was killed by the witch, who was a comedian, but like she only got like some of his brain to possess, but not the entire thing. So he's like murdering you while making actual funny content.
I'm the Joker, baby.
But he's from the 70s, so it's not like politically correct.
Yeah, 2 bleeps walk into a bar.
Oh, and everyone's like, "Whoa, dude!
Yeah.
What the hell? We're gonna get you canceled."
Yo, that is not okay.
Holy shit! Like he cuts off one dude's leg and is like, "Why are you walking so funny? What are you, disabled?"
Yeah.
And it's like, dude.
Or he's like a George Carlin style comedian. He's just making social commentary as he's chopping you up. He's
Oh
like,
right,
the
totally.
fucking government, taxes, President Bush, the first one.
Yeah, the one who served in World War II as a fighter pilot.
The person that he's murdering is like, what do you mean the first one?
Who?
This is 1994.
I'd like to think that the witch is like beyond going on a linear time frame.
Oh yeah, like the genie from Aladdin.
Right. So like all the inhabited bodies have this unified consciousness.
Yeah.
Right? So like he's murdering someone and he's just like, President Wilson, the eighth one.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, the one who made embargoes on Bitcoin.
Yeah. What's Bitcoin? Is that
Bitcoin?
what is that, a game?
Is that like,
can I play it in the arcade? Anyway.
What are you, a nerd? Are you into computers? Like, what?
Anyway, we have fun here.
We do.
Yeah. Were you excited to see that the girl from the first one that they drowned, but not really excited that she's still alive?
I did.
You think they'll make it out? You think they'll survive?
I think they'll survive, but not in the way that you think.
Oh.
I think they'll survive, but I don't think their relationship will be maintainable.
You think Josh will make it to third base?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Oh,
even if he doesn't
100.
make it, he'll make it.
He'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, even if he doesn't make it to the end of the movie, he'll make it to third base.
Right. He'll make it to third base. He'll go to some city in New York, and he'll take up the rapper name Biggie Smalls.
Yeah. Watch as this was a backdoor pilot for the Biggie Smalls origin story. I have this is the pitch meeting. I got a really good idea for a Biggie Smalls movie. But we gotta
remember Fear Street 2?
But we gotta produce an entire horror trilogy to lead up to it. No, hear me out. No, don't leave. Don't leave.
What are you doing? I call it.
Anyway,
I call Fear Street 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I would hate to go to that summer camp.
Oh, me too. I'm not a summer camp guy in general.
Like the shady ciders or the shady veilers or whatever, whichever one is the shady ones, the poor ones.
Yeah.
Like they seem fine, you know, they get along well enough. Yeah, poor kids are just as
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
But like the sunny siders are like they're like racist towards the shady side, shady veilers.
People in the 70s? No.
It's like aggressive. Like it's
yeah.
And I know that the color war was organized by a sunny sider because there's no way that anyone that isn't biased towards them would be like, hey, you know what these kids really need? An excuse to fight each other.
You know, I feel like one of the kids in the Sunnysiders was like, his parents were about to join the Manson family, but like, for some reason weren't able to or didn't. And then they decided to make their own family, but still like held those views. And they were like, There's going to be a race war called Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
And they go to the summer camp and they're like, let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
here.
let's practice.
Yeah.
Dude, those kids were fucking aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes summer camp look horrible.
You know, I went to a summer camp, and you know, why would I sleep in a subpar bed?
Yeah. I went to a 3-day Bible camp.
That's it.
And that's my summer camp experience.
Well, how was that? Did they wake you up at like 6 and
No, it was like a regular camp, except we went to
recite
church in the evening.
Lord's Prayer?
It was weirdly just. It was just a normal summer camp, except you went to church in the evening.
You had to wear a cloak.
Yeah. We all
With the
wore
beads.
cloaks and with the rope belt, like a monk.
Yeah, and you had a whip, so like you would be reading the Bible, right? You're given like a big old Bible, and you're supposed to
Normal summer camp stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah.
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 Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. But with that, I was gonna say, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable having my stuff like not locked away, because we see in the movie like, hey Ziggy, we fucked with your bunk. I just don't like that. That's why I don't go to summer camp. As a 21-year-old man, that's why I don't go to summer camp.
As a 22-year-old man, I don't go to summer camp because I don't have money to spend on summer camp, and because I don't want to go to summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'd say best
Anyway.
movie ever.
I'd like to say, if you hold something near and dear, if you want to make change, and if something near and dear to you,
The best way to get something done, if you hold near and dear to you that you.
anyway.
Look,
That
these
is the
movies were
extent-
all filmed back to back, like Lord of the Rings. They all came out in the same year. Look, this one does take place many years before the first one. That being said, next week you want to watch the third movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Fear Street, Part 3, 1666. It's a flashback from the flashback.
It's funny because like we think about like American Revolution stuff. This is far before that.
Yeah, this is back when America was the woods.
Like back when it was like there were still colonies, but like they were not like, hey, let's rebel. They were like, yep.
There
we're
were
here.
still some Native Americans left.
There were still some Native Americans left, and the Dutch may have still been there too.
Yeah. Dude, horrible time. You'd have like your little town surrounded by just infinite wilderness. Maybe there's a town like 10 miles over. It's like a 3-day walk. So you either just have to fit in with whatever weird, like esoteric shit that your people decided to do that week.
Yeah.
Hey, we decided we're Puritans. We decided that if you look at the sky at the wrong time of day, you're gonna be put to death, and you just have to live with it.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna if you get accused of being a witch, we're gonna drown you, and if you drowned, then you're not a witch.
Yeah,
But
this
if
is
you
before the
survive-
Constitution.
But if you survive, then you're definitely a witch, and we're gonna burn you at the stake.
Yeah, flawless logic.
That can't go.
No, it cannot. Good thing
Well,
they got the right
okay.
person this time, though, because that clearly was a witch that they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a witch, a real one,
A real bitchy witch
a real
too.
horrible,
I like to think there were
horrible
some
lady.
witches. I like to think there were some witches that were just trying to like do good things though. Like they were trying to just make medicine.
Yeah,
And like it's magic medicine, no doubt. Like derived technically from satanic stuff, but the person who's consuming the medicine isn't gonna no strings attached to them satanically. Right? And it's like this, listen, you have gonorrhea and this will fix it.
this will take
Right?
the
And
edge off.
This will take the edge off. You won't have gonorrhea anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're going to be gonorrhea in a couple days.
Yeah. Horrible time.
Oh, terrible.
Sometimes, like, especially watching movies that take place around then, I'm like, God, imagine if I was born then. I think I would just kill myself. I think I would be born in this time. I would find myself in like a 1600s village, and I'd be like, oh, let's just see if reincarnation's real. Let's see if I can get a better luck of the draw next time around.
You know, it's funny because like I've heard so many people be like, I wish I could go back in time and just like invent a bunch of stuff because I know how shit works.
Yeah.
And
enough
like, become
sketches
famous.
have been made about why that doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because you get there, right? And I have a beard. Like, I am clearly an adult, right? Although I have all of my teeth, and that might be seen as like,
Yeah, this is a
how
newborn.
did you do that? How did you do that? Like,
They don't look like they're made of wood.
right. They don't look that. Wow, are those slave teeth?
Are those what are those original?
Wow.
Are those
Man.
factory? Are those factory teeth?
Oh, and by the way, like, you will have to have a couple bouts of dysentery and smallpox
Yep.
to, like, really get your gut acclimated.
Yeah.
Do you think the person cutting your bread washed their hands the last time they shit?
Yeah. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And they didn't clean their knife that they used to cut the bread after the last time they shit on it.
I guarantee you they wiped their ass with their hand.
Yeah.
And then, like, we're like, it's clean.
Gross.
And they
time.
probably never have brushed their teeth ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they're just like, they're going to fall out anyway.
Like, these things are designed to just knock out, and then, yeah, that's what happens.
And then you die.
Oh, and also, if you want to buy salt, that's going to be like,
That's going to be all of your money.
shillings. It's going to be everything. Anyway, but you're going to get there, and you're going to be like, I'm going to invent the light bulb. Well, first, you got to get to electricity. Good luck.
Yep.
Also, to, like, even have the time and space and resources to sit down and think about this shit, you need to be able to shoot a deer first.
Look, if you went back to the 1600s and you were like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to invent the light bulb, it would take you long enough that, like, you would just catch up to history and Thomas Edison would steal your idea. Just like he did in the OG timeline.
Well, yeah, but it's like you would have to know, like, how do you make a fire? Make a fire.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make a fire.
Exactly.
Cook. Here's a dead rabbit.
Yeah.
Cook this rabbit and make it edible.
Dude, I've seen so many TikToks where it's like time traveler goes back to the 1600s. And it's like, so I have this thing called an iPhone. Oh, how does it work? Electricity. What's electricity? It's like you
electrons that move in it. What's an electron?
It's a subatomic particle. What's that?
Subatomic.
So you know, like atoms, right? Like Adam and Eve. No, it's
no.
It's
it was
magic.
invented by Einstein.
It's magic. Just string me up.
You just be
I
like,
did a
Einstein,
deal with the devil. Whatever. Just get me the fuck out of here.
Because you'd be in like a Protestant like because the only place that would help you is the church. Like, let's just be honest. The only place that would help you, and you'd be like, I need some porridge. I need something. The church would be like, yeah, sure, here's some porridge. I don't care. But then you would bring up like, yeah, electricity. Oh, like particles. Oh, wait, atoms. They were described by a guy named Einstein, and they'd be like, that sounds like a Jewish name.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you saying a Jew invented this?
Kanye West? Kanye West is there for some reason.
What the?
That sounds like a Jewish name.
Yeah,
dude,
but
that guy's a Nazi
okay,
now.
You would die of dysentery and disease before you could invent anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, next week we're gonna watch Fear Street Part 3, the end of the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway.
Anyway.
And after that, we're gonna be out of Halloween. We're gonna be into November. That means we can watch regular movies again.
Yeah.
Shit.
We have to watch Thanksgiving movies then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. End of list.
That's a Halloween movie.
Oh, good point. Yeah, what's the Thanksgiving one?
They talk about the pilgrims.
But
in a very whitewashed way.
A totally historically accurate way.
Yeah.
You know, we all remember the part of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special where Charlie Brown infects Pigpen's blanket with SARS.
and smallpox. Okay, also another historical fact. Did you know, like, everyone in the world before, like, 1950, everyone in the world eventually just got smallpox.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
Like, that's just a part of life. That was a part of life. You had
Yeah.
mobility, and they would give birth to a kid, and they might have some initial immunity because their parents had some immunity, but
Because their parents they actively had smallpox.
right, and the kid, it was a matter of like we'll know if he can be a leader if he can survive his first bout of smallpox.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, it's smallpox season. Better stay inside.
And mind you, like, they didn't figure out anything for that in terms of vaccines until like the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And
So
even
for just
then, you would
thousands
die.
of years of human history, we just put
Right.
up with shit.
And even then, they were like, hey, this, like, if I stab you too much, though, with the smallpox, like, you could die.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I
Right,
hear it
and
causes autism. And I hear there's a microchip in it. Wait, what's a microchip? Okay, so you know electricity? What's electricity? Okay, so you know atoms? Like Adam and Eve? Just kill me.
No, it's like, well, Einstein kind of describes them. Who's Einstein? He's a scientist. Sounds like a Jew.
Yeah.
And it would go back to that
Again.
every time.
Again, Kanye West, what are you doing here in this flashback?
Right. I would like to reference that. I'm saying he sounds like a Jew, not a derogatory way. He was, in fact, of Jewish lineage.
He was
and
Jewish,
There's nothing
and they
wrong
are
with
in
that.
the sketch, in the bit, the person from a long time ago is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
So they're like,
because that was prevalent.
yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
were worse.
Did you know that when they would have bouts of smallpox in villages in Europe, they would have routine fucking raids on Jewish villages because the Jewish villages wouldn't have as bad bouts of smallpox? And you know why they didn't, Alex? You know why?
Probably just because they washed their hands.
Yes, and they washed dead bodies after they died. It was a ritual that they would wash dead bodies, right? They would wash the body, clean it up,
Yeah.
and bury it. And that would, shocker, that would clean mess up, clean some bacteria, clean some smallpox off, and thus they had a smaller rate of infection.
Yeah. Also, did they also, like the non-Jewish villages, did they have their shit just literally in the street like these other places?
Alex.
I was hoping that they'd have another like one up on them. I'd hope that they would like not have their shit in the streets, but I guess you can't win them all.
I know. It's the past. Okay, I would like to shout out this one YouTuber who he runs a YouTube channel called Today I Found Out. His name is Simon Whistler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that one.
A really cool guy, but he has a catchphrase when he has his like historical videos, which is called biographics. I highly recommend them because they're very well made. He has this catchphrase where he just says the past was the worst. Like, don't kid yourself.
Yeah, no, that's true.
The past was the worst. Don't kid yourself that you could like survive that.
With everything that's going on, this is still the best time in human history to live.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of like making it to the next day.
Right. You know, if you went to your doctor, and by the way, like if you went to your doctor with a stomach ache, and this is by this point debilitating stomach ache, right? Because you wouldn't just let that get ahead of your work because you have to work to survive. Well, I mean, kind of like today. But anyway, you go to your doctor and you're like, my stomach hurts. They go, okay, cool. Here's a tablet of mercury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's some mercury.
They might as well just be like, here's a gun, shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah. You go to your doctor and you're like, I broke my bone. They'd say, oh shit, that sucks. Here's some opium and heroin. I hope you don't get hooked. Good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, we have fun here.
Am I going off on a tangent too much?
No, I mean a little, but it's not that I'm not entertained. It's just we should move on. So anyway, next week, Fear Street Part 3 was the point of that segment. So I have a couple of video recommendations, Gavin, if you have any, add them. One of them is titled I Don't See Color, Where Bucky's Apology Fails. It's basically a video.
This video is sponsored by...
Sorry about that. It's from...
Dare you?
It's from READUS on YouTube. It's basically like an analysis of one part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's basically like a racial analysis of like... So a big part of the show is Falcon experiences like systemic racism, right? Like he's harassed by the police.
Yeah.
And Bucky, a man from the 1940s who hasn't really had that much time to acclimate to modern society, is like, what's going on? What do you mean? What is this? Hello, officers. What's going on here? Don't you know who this guy is? And the officers are like, no, he's black, so we can harass him. And he's like, oh, I didn't know this was going on. So that's a big part of the show. And Falcon is like, I don't want to be Captain America just because of what that means for me and, you know, my race and everything. So he's just like, I don't want to deal with it. And Bucky is like, no, you got to pick up the shield, be Captain America. I don't see what the issue is. And one part of the show is Bucky's like, hey, I didn't know racism was going on. I didn't know. And I apologize. And this video is basically about why that kind of falls flat as like a moment of a guy learning not to be racist or whatever.
Well, because there's a difference between like morals and character.
Yeah. Well, like one point that the guy made in the video is like Steve Rogers and Bucky like should know about racism, but they just kind of don't seem to.
Yeah, there wasn't. I feel like they should have had like a debriefing right when Captain America was unfrozen. Like, listen, they can use the same bathroom now.
Yeah. Anyway, that all that aside, like Captain America doesn't really seem to see race like at all. And like, you know, it's fine, I guess. I mean, it's not fine, but like you can kind of just accept it as like a function of the universe. Like you could just say, oh, these movies take place in a universe where systemic racism doesn't really exist. Even though we're fighting World War II, which is a direct result of systemic racism.
So like, even though like the fact that they could easily do like a scan on Wakanda and figure out that they're actually a technological society, but because they say, no, we're just a poor African nation, they just take their word for that?
I mean, how many countries do you investigate when they're like, we're just a poor nation? I don't know what that has to do with what I was saying, though.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, just because like a world without like racism or in the way that we see it, like, and there are clearly like rumors that Wakanda is more than what it is.
Yeah, but they're like, they're African.
Right. That's inherently racist.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if they were South African apartheid government, they'd be like, nah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Yeah. But anyway, this is the I Don't See Color, Where Bucky's Apology Fails. It's a good analysis of Falcon and the Winter Soldier about like, it talks about like the northern white archetype, you know, like the virtuous white guy that doesn't see color, you know, and it's treated as like such a good thing.
Or like the white savior.
Yeah, kind of like that. You know, the idea is like, yeah, you know, this pinnacle of morality, you know, Steve Rogers, he doesn't see race. He's above that. So like, I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but it kind of results in stuff like, what do you mean systemic racism? Just comply. Just comply if you don't want to be shot.
Well, that's just like what I mean by like the difference between like morals and character. Like back in the 40s, Steve Rogers and Bucky knew that they should treat other people like they would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that, right? But society saw African Americans as an out group. So you don't have to treat them like normal people because society doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so a person with character would say, no, they're people. I don't see any distinguishing difference between us besides our skin color and maybe some cultural things. But beyond that, like, they have their wits about them.
Yeah.
Right? A person with character would be like, no, I'm not going to do what society says how I should treat these people. I'm going to treat them how I want to treat them.
Yeah.
How I think they should be treated, right? How I would want to be treated. Only to when they go to the future and society's like, so we don't do that anymore. Are they like, oh, okay.
I guess. I mean, it's not really brought up ever.
Right.
Except for when it's briefly brought up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When they decide that systemic racism is like canon now.
Well, I'm just going off of the fact that like in the 40s and World War II, it was impossible to get to no pun intended, but to separate yourself from segregation.
Yeah.
Right? Because the army was segregated in World War II. They had ships carrying people, and on one side of the ship would be the white people, and the other side would be the black people.
Yeah, so Steve Rogers should be well aware of like systemic racism, but he just doesn't seem
to have.
Yeah, but like in universe, he just doesn't seem to know about it. He's just like him and Bucky are just like, yeah, we'll just pick the right guy for the job. Obviously, you know, Sam should be Captain America after I'm gone. And like Bucky says in the show, like, yeah, we just didn't think about the ramifications of a black man being Captain America. Like, it seems like he's saying that they didn't know that racism was around. So anyway, yeah, it's a good video. Link in description. And then the other video that I have is retrospective of the first 10 years of Spider-Man's history. And it's a good breakdown of where he was in his first 10 years. And I think a lot of people, I've talked about this before, but a lot of people have a misconception about Spider-Man. And that misconception is that the Raimi films are the comics. And it seems obvious to say this, but they aren't. But people, like, when they talk about, like, yeah, Spider-Man, he's this, he's that, like, they just reference things from the Sam Raimi movies, the ones from, like, the 2000s. Like, no, Peter Parker shouldn't be attractive. Oh, Andrew Garfield is too hot to play Spider-Man. He has to be this wimpy, unlikable nerd. Meanwhile, in his original run in the comics, he just was hot. Like, women fought over Peter Parker, regardless of whether he was Spider-Man. Like, they didn't know, but they were still like, oh, this guy's hot, and we're going to fight over him.
Yeah.
He was a freaking hunk, especially in college. So, it's just a good breakdown of the story. It's a good retrospective. Again, link in description. But yeah, it's a good way to understand the character, and also a good, I just thought it was entertaining.
I have two things I'd like to shout out. One I already brought up, but there's another YouTuber named Johnny Harris. He makes really good videos about just different stuff. All different stuff. I think he worked as a journalist for Vox, and VOX, not Fox, Vox. And yeah, he just knows how to make a good video and make it informative and entertaining.
Yeah.
And very cinematic and introspective, and he knows how to make a plot around a subject matter. I just really respect and love his videos, and I would highly recommend that people look into it. He made a very good video about the metric system and about how much it makes sense in the history of it. So it turns out a bunch of French scientists got together in the 18 whatevers and were like, we need a universal measurement that works everywhere. And they went off the circumference of the Earth. They calculated it in France, and they just took the circumference of the Earth and kept dividing it by, like, I think it was either 100 or 10. And they kept on doing that until they got like a manageable distance, and they called that the meter.
Nice. Right?
And Napoleon was really about it, but everyone else wasn't, because everyone else had been using agricultural units of measure. They would have units of measure for like 5 oat seeds, right? And that was a measurement, right? Anyway, he goes into how he, like when he was in Europe, he tried to train himself to think in metric. But the issue is, he got back to America and kept trying to do that, but he couldn't because he kept on looking at things in terms of, like, a meter is this many feet, right?
Yeah.
And you convert feet to kilometers, right? And so he lost the ability to.
Man, if I could speak on behalf of the metric system, I would say shit.
It makes a lot more sense too.
Yeah.
Like, it just, if you just add a 0 to scale things up, there's no base.
Yeah, you can't
12
really get
issues.
much more simple than like base 10.
You know what 10 meters is multiplied by 2? 20 meters.
20 meters.
20 meters. You know what a foot multiplied by 2 is? You actually have to do a little mental math. It's 24.
Yeah.
But we know that because we've done it so often.
Yeah.
But I did less mental head thinky stuff with the metric system.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes more sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like
yeah.
his videos. Highly recommend.
Yeah, he makes good, entertaining stuff. Like, it's well produced. I've seen a few of his videos. In the interest of intellectual,
in the interest of time,
in the interest of intellectual, I don't know what word you would use, but I guess in the interest of not like spreading bad stuff,
misinformation.
Not like misinformation, but I guess in the interest of I don't want to say fairness, but I have seen a video. So Tom Nicholas is a YouTuber that I watch a lot. He makes like really informative deep dives, like half hour to an hour long. And he did do a video about Johnny Harris. Apparently he did some video about something involving China. Don't ask me anything about it because I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. But it was something along the lines of like he said something and he was paid to say it, but he didn't say he was paid to say it. Something like that. And Tom Nicholas did a breakdown of it. Apparently he also did another video about European colonialism. And he kind of like whitewashed a few things. He trimmed some corners, like for the interest of storytelling. And someone
I was not aware of that, so thank you for informing me.
Yeah, just in the interest of like being transparent, I guess. So Tom Nicholas did the one about the China whatever. The channel the present past on YouTube made a video titled How Johnny Harris Rewrites History. It's basically a response to that. Yeah, I didn't expect that you would know anything about like the bad stuff that he's done. I only like just remembered because like I vaguely remembered he did something and people didn't like it or whatever. So
yeah,
I don't want to sound like I'm holding it against you personally.
I was about to say
I don't want to be like the channel that you recommended is actually like really problematic.
I mean, I like him.
Yeah, no, I have seen his stuff like before.
I wasn't aware of that. So thank you for letting me know.
Yeah,
I'll look into that.
Yeah, no, I had seen his stuff before that, and like, it's well produced. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's informative. But I just don't want to like platform someone if they've like done disagreeable stuff.
Also, Simon Whistler. In his YouTube channel today, I found out biographics, geographics, mega projects, all that fun jazz. So fucking good. He definitely has this like ADHD energy.
Oh, he did a video titled "The Salem Witch Trials" on his channel Into the Shadows. That's from a day ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll watch that later.
He does that. I like his show Business Blaze because he goes through like bad business decisions that companies have made. And in that show, he really goes like off the rails in terms of his energy. And he like screams into the microphone and he's like, he's just fucking hilarious. And he has this ADHD energy of like, he goes off the rails and talks about something else. And I just like his stuff. It's just really good. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think Today I Found Out was like one of the first YouTube channels that I like really like watched. Mm-hmm. Like it was like one of the first channels that like I consistently came back to.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me about how racist he is or something.
Yeah, no, he also skins puppies.
Yeah, he skins puppies and then he eats the meat.
And that's Dr. Oz that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. I mean, he doesn't skin them specifically, but like Dr. Oz, like apparently one of the labs he ran.
Yeah, that was a lab thing. And it was
not just for fun.
Whatever.
Yeah, no,
it was
just
like
recreationally.
It was like for his job, and it went against a bunch of like animal rights stuff that they have for labs. But the thing is, it's like common practice for labs to do that because they just pay the fine. Yeah.
No, a fine just means that's the cost of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like parking in a handicapped spot. You can do it if you have $150. Fuck the people in wheelchairs.
Climbing Mount Everest and not picking up trash. Just pay an extra $3,000 because that's what the fine is.
Yeah. Isn't capitalism great for our legal system?
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, we have fun here.
Anyway, we do.
All right, I think that's everything then.
All right.
Oh, I want to mention besides our Twitch stream, which we're going to do after recording this, friend of the show Jake did a stream last night. He did a lube stream, which I like to call it that because it sounds a little dirty, a little naughty, but he was like lubing up keyboard key switches.
Well, now I'm disappointed.
I know. They just don't want to sully his good name, make it sound like he was doing anything dirty. But it was a fun stream. He usually has song requests turned on, so you can like type ! song request, then you can like pop a YouTube link in there, and you can request whatever crazy meme songs you want to listen to. You can rickroll everyone. I just put in podcast clips. I just put in clips of this show. Then he played them on the stream. You know.
Oh yeah.
ABP, always be plugging. Always be plugging.
I tell my classmates about this podcast every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta hack the projector. Gotta get the clips up there.
Before the teacher shows up.
Hey guys, I gotta show you something.
Hey guys, hold on just a second. The teacher comes in, I'm like, wait, we're getting to the good part. Wait.
Wait, we're getting to the part where they say
poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Wait, hold on, there's gonna be a new sound drop. Wait.
Call a crackhead.
Hey. Anyway, we have fun here.
We do.
I think that's the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Bold of You to Say. If you liked it, then like it. If you subscribed, then subscribe. And
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Follow me on social media. Don't follow Gavin anywhere. Don't do it.
Don't.
It's unwise.
Stop.
Like, I know you want to. I know it's really tempting. But honestly, just give it a rest. You're barking up the wrong tree. Okay, bud?
This has been the 1,000th time.
We keep telling you, and it feels like you're not listening.
At this point, I'm going to have to put a restraining order. Like...
Yeah.
Not cool.
We have to keep our country gay.
I'm not on the page with the yeah sound, and I don't feel like scrolling. So that's what we get. That's what we get. Okay. Share the show, tweet our clips, tweet our episodes, play them out loud at work. If you're at a funeral, play it there. We need some levity, okay? You know, you can't be sad all
the time. Go to a rally and play our sound bits. Bites.
Go to a Trump rally. Start off with this.
We have to keep our country gay.
And then, you know, that'll get them roped in. We'll be like, hold on, let's hear him out. And then it'll just be us talking about Fear Street.
The whole time. Yeah.
Leave us a review on Podchaser. That's like an IMDb tape site for podcasts. Leave us a review on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can if you want. And subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Turn on notifications. Turn on automatic downloads. Let's get the hell out of here.
Fuck off.
Let's time travel to 1666.